In today's video, we're going to be talking about Pinterest, and I'm going to be giving you a tutorial of how Pinterest works. So if you are brand new to Pinterest or have just got it started using it, then this video is for you. If you're already pretty advanced with Pinterest, this video may not be for you, but you could also watch it. There may be a few things that I talk about you didn't realize or understand about Pinterest, so you may pick up a few tips and tricks, but this is for beginners. So if you're ready, we're going to go ahead and dive into this tutorial. My name is Nick Foy, the founder of AskNickFoy.com, and I'm super excited that you're here today on my YouTube channel checking out my daily tutorials that I upload. Alright, so here I am logged into my Pinterest account for my golf niche brand. This is the brand that I do most of my tutorials around, showing you guys what I did to become successful in the golf space. So over here we've got kind of a little summary when you first log in. This says my name, my photo, how many monthly viewers I'm reaching, how many monthly engaged. So 15,000 people a month are actually engaging on my content right now for this account, and then I run multiple other Pinterest accounts. That way I can, try to drive traffic from multiple sources, repin my own content to try to help my account grow. But basically what you're going to do is sign up for an account. I've got another tutorial video on that. You could check it out if you need step-by-step instructions, but it's pretty straightforward. You just go to Pinterest.com, click sign up, enter your email address, a password, and boom, they bring you to this screen here where you're going to pick some of your interests. So obviously all these pins they're displaying in the feed are golf related because that's the interests of this account. But you could pick fitness, tech, design, fashion, health and fitness, whatever it is that you're into, pick your interests. And this is basically your news feed, kind of like Twitter and Facebook, how there's a news feed that you scroll. So as you scroll down the feed, it's just going to show you posts that other people have posted on Pinterest for you to check out. If any of them catch your eye and interest you, that's where the whole engagement part comes into play. So when people use Pinterest, they scroll their news feed just like you would do if you're looking down your news feed. And let's say somebody comes across one of these pins that they like. So this putting green out here with a nice sunset. So as you hover over the pin, which is what this rectangle picture is, it's called a pin, you're going to see a little link down here they could click on to take them back to a website. So if it's linking to like an article, then they could go read that article. And then they've other options here would be like to share or save this pin, and then the save button right here to repin it. So if you're going to repin somebody else's pin, you just click the save button and you're going to select a board. So a board is basically a way you organize your content. So I've got different boards here like chipping, one for practice drills, one for putting, one for shoes, swing tips, short game. That way I can organize my content based on these different boards instead of pinning them all together under one general board. So a lot of people on their Pinterest profiles, you'll see they've broken up different boards about their interests. So one might be like a fitness board, one might be a tech board, a diet planning, recipe board. So think about your niche, your business, what you're trying to do, and come up with some different board topics and then pin relevant pins to those different boards. So a repin, again, just to go back to it, it's basically like a retweet. It's a way to share other people's stuff. So you're just repinning their pin to your boards so that your followers that check out your boards and see your content you're pinning, they'll now see this pin because you repinned somebody else's content to your stuff. So that's the whole premise here, trying to keep it simplified. So if I want to, try to re-explain this in a more simple way, basically you're uploading pins, which are these pictures, these rectangle pictures. They're usually tall vertical ones, but you can also do these short ones that are more wide. So these are called pins. You upload them to Pinterest and you can link them out to like a blog post on your website, an e-commerce store, like a product page if you're trying to, promote traffic to your products. So wherever you decide to link it, all somebody has to do then is click on that link and they get taken off of Pinterest over to that website you're linking to. So that's why it's a powerful tool for driving traffic back to your website, to your e-commerce store, to your email list. So you upload these pins and then people see them in the search feed. They click on them, they go look at your articles, or they can resave them to their own boards, and then their followers will see them. So it's a way to get out there and grow exponentially because then their followers see, and then their followers might repin it, and then their followers of those followers will see it, and it just goes on and on and on in an exponential cycle. And that's why I only have 568 followers, but I'm getting thousands and thousands and thousands of repins and clicks and traffic back to my website every month without having a huge following because of the exponential power of Pinterest. So here we are on the profile page now, and what you're going to see here is your title or your account name. You're going to see followers, following, your website URL when you update your profile, a little bio section here, and then your profile picture. So it's important to actually put up a picture, not just have a gray blank image here, because then people are going to think you're spammy. If you put up a professional looking photo, you're more likely going to get followers and people checking out your content. Your bio should explain what your business is, what it's about, what people can learn, and then it's important to link to a website, whether that's your e-commerce store, your blog. You could link to another social media account if you don't have a website. If you're trying to get more followers to your Instagram, to your YouTube channel, you could link to it there. And then down here, we've got pins, boards, and tries. So right now it's set on the pins tab. So these are all my most recent pins that I've saved to different boards. And a lot of them are my own pins because I repin my own content quite a bit so that my followers can see it in their news feeds. And then that gets my content clicks, that gets my content shared, and helps me, get in front of new audiences. Then the boards pin, or the boards tab, obviously is what it stands for. So there's all kinds of boards here. So again, you just go here, create a new board. It's pretty straightforward. Give your board a title, give it a description, and then start pinning pins to it to fill it up. And once it gets about 6 or 7 pins, it looks full here. So if we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pins here, and then again here, there's about 6 pins. That's what it takes to fill up this board. Until you get 6 pins onto your board, there's going to be some blank gray slots here instead. So if you want your profile to look more appealing and more full, make sure you're pinning, multiple pins to one board first before you go and create a new board. That way you can, board by board, you could start filling them up and make your profile look pretty active, pretty full of pins that people can actually click on your boards and start going through. So I've got all these different boards here. If you want to rearrange them, you can just click and hold and drag them around so I can make sure that my blog articles are the very first board that shows up on my profile here. And then I can make sure my products and stuff are on the other boards showing up here. And then the less important boards I have down here at the bottom. Sometimes group boards, if you're part of a group where there's multiple people contributing to one board, those I'll put down here, usually at the bottom. So these are just your individual private boards that you're the only one pinning to. But if you get invited to a group board or you start your own group board, that's a board again where there's multiple people pinning to it. So there's other users that can contribute content to this board along with yourself. And then when they get followers, when you get followers, it all adds up together and they all follow this one board. So it helps kind of grow your audience and get in front of new audiences because you're getting in front of the followers of the other contributors, the other people who are pinning to that board. And so every time they're getting new followers, they are now following this board so that when you pin your stuff to it, you're going to get found by new people. So that's the basics of your profile. Here's what it looks like again. The title, followers, following, bio, website, profile picture. You can go here to settings and update your profile once you create your Pinterest account. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Don't need to go into the settings tab and show you all that. You just fill in all the information and then your profile looks set up here. Then you're going to scroll down here and it's going to be blank. You're going to see this little box here with the plus sign. Click on create board and you're going to start creating these different boards. When you want to edit them, you can click this little pencil edit icon here and it's going to open up the edit your board dashboard. So you can rename the board if you decided to change the name. You can change the description. You could change the category. You can give it a cover image if you want, or you can make it secret. So if it's secret, nobody in the public can see it. Only you can see it. But right now, these are all public boards that I want my followers to be able to see. Sometimes I do have secret boards down here that I'll upload blog posts to that I want to pin out to my account. I'll just upload them in bulk ahead of time, and then day by day I'll come back in here and grab different pins that I want to pin out here to my public boards. So that's one thing you can do, is set some private boards aside. Or if you've got some non-business related boards that are just your own personal for fun boards, you can keep those secret, keep those private, since they're not relevant to your followers and you don't want your followers, getting annoyed or spammed with unnecessary pins that don't relate to your business. So that's when you would have a secret board as well. So create these different boards. Then you can go here into the search bar, start searching different pins, categories. So if I wanted to, find different golf swing tips to pin to my golf swing tips board, I would just come up here to the search bar, type in golf swing tips, hit enter, and it'll populate a search feed of a bunch of pins that Pinterest believes are most relevant to that search query. So I could start scrolling the feed here, get a bunch of different useful pins saved to my board by just clicking the save button and then finding that board. So golf swing tips right here, click save, and then it saves it to that board, and then you're good to go. You can keep scrolling on and save more pins to other boards on your account. Now, there is a way to automate your pinning if you don't want to log in every single day and pin these yourself. What you can do is use this little app called Tailwind. If you go to asknickfoy.com/tailwind, I'll also link to it below in the YouTube video description. So just check out the video description below. Click on that link. It's going to take you over to Tailwind. And what Tailwind is it's basically an auto scheduling tool built for Pinterest, and it now is capable of integrating with Instagram as well. So it's one of the tools that I use right now to schedule posts to my Instagram account and to my Pinterest account. And all you do is you come here, and on this image, when you hover it, once you've added Tailwind dashboard extension to your Google Chrome browser up here, then anytime you hover an image on Pinterest, you're going to see this little bird wing. That's the Tailwind symbol. And you can click that, and it's going to open up your Tailwind account so that you can save the pin to your drafts. So we'll just click the save for later. And then all that's going to do is save it away for later so that when you log into your Tailwind account, you're going to have maybe 100, 200 pins that you went through and saved here. It might take you a half hour to go through here and just bulk save a bunch of different pins, clicking the little bird feather over and over and over again on all these different images you want to save, and you can add them to your drafts. So once you do that for about a half hour to an hour, then you go into your Tailwind account, and there's going to be a drafts folder there, and all you do is you can click on all those pins and schedule them out to your different boards, and then they'll auto pin for you on the schedule you set up. So they've got different time slots that you can pick if you want, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12, 4:30. I mean, they've got all kinds of different time slots they recommend to you based on the best times to pin throughout the day. So all you have to do is just schedule a bunch of pins and then click schedule my pins, and it'll automatically fill them in like a shuffleboard, and then you can shuffle them up and if you want to reorganize the different pins that go out at the different times. So let's say you saved the same pin to like 5 different boards. Well, instead of having your account pin that same pin 5 times in a row, you could shuffle up all those pins, and it might pin it out one day. Then a week later, it might repin it again to another board. And then a week later, it might repin it again to another board. That way you kind of split up that same pin that you're pinning multiple times to multiple boards, because you're trying to get that pin lots of exposure. That'd be the one reason why you're pinning it multiple times. So that's what I do with a lot of my blog articles. I'll go ahead and pin them multiple times throughout the month. That way I can keep getting, that pin surfaced out there for my followers to see and keep getting traffic to it. So that's Tailwind for you in a gist. It's a cool tool. In the meantime, you can get on here and manually pin different pins to your boards once you set up your boards. But once you get to the point where you want to automate your pinning so that you can focus on other things in your Pinterest account and in your business, then use a tool like Tailwind. Just go to asknickfoy.com/tailwind. All right, so we've covered how to set up your profile and go into the settings to customize your profile. We talked about what the profile looks like over here on the profile page, showed you how to set up boards, showed you how to navigate back and forth between the boards and pins tab if you want to see all the content on your profile. And then if you come out here to your search feed, just click this little Pinterest logo. That's going to bring you out here to the home page, which is your news feed, where it's going to populate a bunch of pins it thinks are most relevant to you based on your interest, based on things you've searched before in the search bar. It gathers all that data on you, and it decides, all right, here are pins that we think are most relevant to you. So you can just go through your feed here, start pinning different pins to your boards, or scheduling them with Tailwind like we just talked about a few minutes ago. Now, what you want to do to try to rank your pins in the search feed. So the search feed, we showed you how to use it if you're looking for specific pins. Well, think about somebody searching for your business. So in my case, if people are looking for golf tips, they're going to come on Pinterest. They're going to go up here to the search bar, type in golf tips, and all of these pins are going to pop up related to golf tips that they can begin scrolling through and repinning. So how do I get my pin, like this one, for example, 47 golf drills? This is one of my own pins right here, ranking near the top of the search feed so that it shows up right away at the top so that people don't have to scroll very long. They can find it right away. How do you get your pin up here? Well, it has to do when you upload your pin. So I've got another video for you that talks about all the different SEO strategies called search engine optimization, SEO. It's a little acronym. What that means is how to optimize your Pinterest pins, your content for the Pinterest search engine. So when people are using that search function, Pinterest has algorithms that determine which pins are more important to rank higher. That way they show up first and people are more likely to click on them first. So check out that video. I can link to it below. It's Pinterest SEO tips. I think it's my 10 tips to improve your Pinterest SEO. And that's going to be a whole separate topic that I don't want to get into in this video. But the gist of it is basically you upload your pin and you want to make sure you optimize the pin description. So if we go here, click the little edit tab, you can see my Pinterest description right here. So I put in golf practice tips. So since I use the word golf tips in the description, that's one way Pinterest knows that this pin relates to golf tips, since I actually use those words in the description. And then when you upload a link, Pinterest is also going to look at that link, and it's probably going to have some importance as the ranking factor. You know, what does this pin relate to? Well, Pinterest is going to check out your link, see where you're sending people, and they're going to scan that web page. So you want to make sure that if you've got a website, you've got your metadata all set up correctly so that when Pinterest scans that page, they're going to be able to understand where you're sending people, and then that's going to tell them a little bit about that pin as well. And then lastly, the image file name. When you upload the pin, it can scan the image file name. So if I wrote golf tips as the image file name, then it scans that and it understands it's about golf tips. And then number 4, your board you pin it to. So in this case, I pinned it to one of my golf boards. So Pinterest is going to understand, okay, this pin has to be about golf then if he's pinning it to a golf related board. So those are some different things you can do to optimize your pins when you upload them, to try to give them a better chance at ranking here so that people can find them, click on them, go to your website, or hit the save repin button, and that's going to help get you out there in front of more people on Pinterest. So that's pretty much the basics, I think, for this Pinterest tutorial. We've covered pretty much all the different things you need to know to get started. If you click on, the search bar, type in a search query, there's this little menu here. This has to do with pins, but if it drops down, you can see buyable pins, your pins, people, if you're trying to find accounts or profiles, and then if you want to search for boards. So if I was looking for boards related to golf tips, we'll go ahead and click that as the filter. So you can see here, my board comes up right here, number 3. So again, by optimizing your boards, giving your board a pin description, giving it a good title related to golf tips in this case, since it has the term golf tips in the title, then when people type in golf tips, now my board shows up here in 3rd place. So that's at the top for people to find easily and click on. And then as they scroll down here, they'll see all the different boards that relate to golf tips that they can click on and look at. So that's another way to get your content found, is optimizing your boards. And if you want to find content, that's another way you can find content, coming up here to the search bar and then filtering it out to boards. So that wraps up this tutorial on Pinterest. Again, I've got a whole playlist on my YouTube channel with more Pinterest videos. We go more in depth on different topics. Today was just a general overview of how to use Pinterest if you're a beginner and you're trying to get started. So I would recommend checking out my playlist on my YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. That way you can get notifications when I upload the next Pinterest related tutorials, as well as all the other tutorials I upload on a day-to-day basis, covering social media, covering websites, online marketing, how to make money online, and other business and entrepreneurial tips for you guys. And lastly, if you are somebody who learns better via courses, I've actually got an entire paid program, a paid course on Pinterest, shows you how to get traffic back to your commerce store or your website, how to make money. It's called Profitable Pinterest Traffic. That way, all this traffic you're getting from Pinterest isn't going to waste. You're actually doing something with it. That way, you're actually getting people like to buy products or to buy affiliate products, to get on your email list. There's all kinds of ways to monetize Pinterest traffic. So if you want to check that course out, it's the first link down below in the description, or you can go to asknickfoy.com/courses, and that page will take you over to the Teachable, where I sell my Profitable Pinterest Traffic training course showing you step by step how to get started with Pinterest, build your account, build a following, set your pins up to rank, and start getting tons of traffic back to your website and your products so that you can make money using Pinterest. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video upload. Take care.